Top 10 Most Insane Suzuki Motorcycles of 2026. Absolute Road Monsters. The 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R still feels like a motorcycle built by people who completely ignored the idea of moderation. The moment that gigantic V-twin engine fires up, the entire bike feels alive beneath you, vibrating with raw mechanical aggression. Twist the throttle and the acceleration hits like a punch to the chest, launching this massive cruiser forward with shocking force. This isn't smooth luxury cruising, it's controlled violence. The huge rear tire struggles to contain the torque, while the low, muscular stance gives the bike an almost drag racing personality. And yet somehow, once you settle into highway speed, the M109R transforms into a stable, comfortable machine capable of devouring miles effortlessly. That's what makes it terrifying. It combines brutal acceleration with surprising long-distance comfort. Senior riders are shocked by how manageable it feels, despite its intimidating appearance, while younger riders can't believe a cruiser can move this aggressively. In a world where many motorcycles feel sanitized and over-engineered, the M109R remains unapologetically raw. It doesn't care about trends. It exists for one reason only, to remind everyone what massive V-twin torque truly feels like. And honestly, few motorcycles in 2026 can still deliver this kind of adrenaline. Then there's the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard C50 B.O.S.S, a motorcycle that proves you don't need insane horsepower to create something dangerously addictive. At first glance, it looks calm and understated with its blacked-out styling and classic cruiser proportions. But the real surprise begins once you start riding. The smooth V-twin engine delivers effortless torque that feels perfectly tuned for real-world roads, while the low seat height and balanced chassis create instant confidence. And here's what's shocking riders everywhere. This bike is unbelievably comfortable. Hours on the highway feel effortless, thanks to the relaxed ergonomics and stable handling. Senior riders especially are rediscovering why cruisers became legendary in the first place. There's no complicated technology to fight with, no overwhelming riding modes, and no intimidating power delivery. Instead, the C50 B.O.S.S quietly focuses on what actually matters: comfort, reliability, and pure riding enjoyment. But that simplicity becomes dangerous, because once riders experience how stress-free and relaxing this motorcycle feels, they don't want to stop riding. Suzuki didn't build this bike to dominate spec sheets, they built it to dominate real roads. And in many ways, that makes it even more impressive than high-performance superbikes chasing numbers nobody actually uses. The 2026 Suzuki Intruder M800T may secretly be one of the smartest motorcycles Suzuki has built in years. It doesn't scream for attention with outrageous styling or extreme performance claims. Instead, it quietly focuses on becoming the perfect long-distance cruiser, and somehow succeeds far better than most people expect. The V-twin engine delivers smooth, satisfying torque that feels relaxed but never weak, while the touring windshield and saddlebags transform this machine into a true highway companion. But here's the dangerous part. The comfort level is incredible. Senior riders especially are shocked by how easy the M800T feels during long journeys. The ergonomics remain relaxed, the handling feels balanced, and the weight never becomes intimidating. This motorcycle removes stress from riding in a way many modern machines simply can't. It doesn't overwhelm the rider with technology or unnecessary aggression. Instead, it quietly builds confidence mile after mile, until you suddenly realize you've been riding for hours without fatigue. And maybe that's Suzuki's secret comeback strategy in 2026. While other brands chase futuristic complexity, Suzuki is rediscovering the power of simplicity. The Intruder M800T proves that comfort, balance, and reliability can still create one of the most satisfying riding experiences on the road. The 2026 Suzuki Intruder C800 feels like a direct challenge to modern motorcycles that have forgotten how to simply be enjoyable. The moment you sit on it, everything feels natural. The low seat height, wide handlebars, and relaxed riding position create immediate confidence, while the V-twin engine delivers calm, rolling torque that makes every ride feel effortless. But the real shock comes from how connected the bike feels. In an era dominated by screens, riding modes, and endless electronics, the Intruder C800 reminds riders what motorcycles used to feel like: simple, honest, and deeply satisfying. Senior riders especially are falling in love with this machine because it removes intimidation completely. There's no pressure to ride aggressively, no overwhelming power, just smooth cruising and timeless character. But don't mistake simplicity for weakness. The C800 still has enough torque to feel satisfying at highway speeds, and the stable chassis creates a calm confidence that makes long rides surprisingly relaxing. Suzuki isn't trying to reinvent motorcycling here. They're reminding people why they fell in love with it in the first place. And honestly, that nostalgic honesty might be one of the most powerful weapons Suzuki has in 2026. The 2026 Suzuki Boulevard C90T might quietly be one of the most underrated touring motorcycles in the entire industry. The first thing riders notice is the massive V-twin engine delivering deep, effortless torque that makes highway cruising feel almost too easy. This bike doesn't rush anywhere. It settles into the road with calm authority and simply devours endless miles. But what truly shocks riders is how comfortable it feels. The large windshield protects you from wind fatigue, the plush seating feels luxurious for hours at a time, and the spacious saddlebags make real travel effortless. Senior riders are especially stunned by how relaxed this motorcycle feels during long-distance touring. The ergonomics remove stress from your back and shoulders, while the stable chassis creates a planted feeling that builds confidence at highway speeds. And unlike many expensive luxury tourers, the C90T achieves all this without overwhelming the rider with complexity. It focuses entirely on delivering smooth power, comfort, and reliability. That's what makes it so dangerous. The longer you ride it, the harder it becomes to imagine needing anything else. Suzuki may not scream about this motorcycle in advertisements, but once riders experience it firsthand, they quickly realize the C90T deserves far more attention than it gets. The 2026 Suzuki Intruder C1500BT feels like Suzuki looked directly at expensive luxury touring motorcycles and decided to build something just as capable without the unnecessary drama. This machine is huge, imposing, and built to dominate highways with effortless confidence. The massive V-twin engine delivers endless waves of torque that make acceleration feel smooth and relaxed rather than aggressive, while the large touring setup transforms every ride into a first-class experience. But here's the shocking part. The comfort level rivals motorcycles costing far more. The ultra-relaxed ergonomics, leather saddlebags, and protective windshield remove fatigue so effectively that hours disappear without effort. Senior riders are especially stunned by how manageable the bike feels once moving despite its enormous size. This isn't about chasing speed records or showing off advanced electronics. It's about real-world touring comfort that actually works. And honestly, Suzuki may have built one of the smartest luxury cruisers of 2026 because it focuses entirely on what riders truly need: stability, smooth torque, and all-day comfort. Once the Intruder C1500BT settles into highway speed, something strange happens. It begins to feel less like a motorcycle and more like a rolling escape from reality. The 2026 Suzuki Boulevard C90T B.O.S.S takes the already impressive C90T platform and gives it a darker, more aggressive personality that feels absolutely intimidating on the road. The blacked-out styling instantly creates presence, while the massive proportions remind everyone this is a serious touring machine. But underneath the aggressive appearance lies one of the smoothest highway experiences Suzuki has ever created. The powerful V-twin engine delivers steady torque that feels effortless during long-distance riding, while the windshield and touring ergonomics make endless highway miles feel surprisingly relaxing. Senior riders especially are shocked by how easy this machine feels to control despite its size. The low center of gravity creates stability, the seating position reduces fatigue, and the calm power delivery removes unnecessary stress. But perhaps the most impressive part is how balanced the motorcycle feels overall. It combines cruiser attitude, touring comfort, and highway confidence in a way few motorcycles truly achieve. Suzuki didn't build the C90T B.O.S. to chase modern trends. They built it to quietly dominate real-world touring. And once riders experience how effortlessly this bike handles long journeys, they quickly understand why Suzuki's comeback suddenly feels very serious. The 2026 Suzuki Intruder C800B proves that motorcycles don't need outrageous horsepower or futuristic technology to feel incredibly cool. The dark styling gives it a bold, aggressive personality, but once you start riding, the experience becomes surprisingly calm and comfortable. The V-twin engine delivers smooth, predictable torque that feels relaxing instead of intimidating, while the balanced chassis creates instant confidence at both low and highway speeds. Senior riders especially are rediscovering why simple cruisers became so beloved in the first place. The relaxed ergonomics remove physical stress, the low seat height makes the bike approachable, and the smooth engine encourages longer rides without fatigue. But the real magic of the C800B lies in how effortless it feels. There's no learning curve, no overwhelming technology, and no unnecessary distractions. It simply works. And in 2026, that simplicity feels refreshing. Suzuki understands something many manufacturers seem to have forgotten. Sometimes the best motorcycles are the ones that allow riders to relax and simply enjoy the road. The Intruder C800B doesn't try to impress you immediately. Instead, it slowly wins you over until you suddenly realize you never want to stop riding it. The 2026 Suzuki Boulevard C50 might quietly be one of the best motorcycles for returning riders in 2026. The first thing people notice is how approachable it feels. The low seat height creates immediate confidence, the smooth engine response feels calm and predictable, and the relaxed ergonomics make every ride feel natural from the very beginning. But here's the surprise. Despite its manageable size, the C50 still feels substantial and comfortable on long rides. The V-twin engine delivers enough torque to make highway cruising enjoyable, while the stable chassis creates a reassuring sense of control. Senior riders especially are shocked by how stress-free the entire riding experience becomes. This motorcycle doesn't overwhelm you with weight, complexity, or aggressive performance. Instead, it quietly focuses on comfort, simplicity, and timeless cruiser character. And maybe that's exactly why it works so well. Suzuki understands that not every rider wants extreme horsepower or endless electronic systems. Some riders simply want a motorcycle that feels comfortable, reliable, and enjoyable every single day. The Boulevard C50 delivers exactly that. And once people experience how easy and relaxing it feels, they begin realizing Suzuki's return isn't about flashy headlines. It's about building motorcycles riders genuinely love living with. Then finally comes the machine that changes everything, the 2026 Suzuki GSXS 1000 GT. This motorcycle feels like Suzuki suddenly decided to remind the entire industry that they still know how to build monsters. Powered by an inline-4 engine derived from Suzuki's legendary superbike platform, the GSXS 1000 GT delivers acceleration so explosive it feels completely out of place for a touring motorcycle. Twist the throttle and the bike surges forward with terrifying force, yet somehow remains smooth, stable, and incredibly refined. But here's the truly dangerous part. It's also unbelievably comfortable. The aerodynamic bodywork slices through wind effortlessly, the upright ergonomics reduce fatigue during long rides, and the advanced suspension creates a planted, confidence-inspiring ride at high speed. Senior riders are especially stunned by how manageable the motorcycle feels despite its extreme performance capabilities. Add in modern electronics, premium touring features, and aggressive styling, and suddenly Suzuki looks more dangerous than ever in 2026. The GSX-S 1000 GT doesn't just prove Suzuki is back, it proves they never lost their ability to build motorcycles that completely shock the world. And once riders experience the insane balance of speed, comfort, and everyday usability this machine delivers, one terrifying question suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. What if Suzuki's comeback is only just beginning?